Okay, Alice, thanks for coming in for, today. How can I help you? What's going on?
I'm just, I'm not happy, and I knew I couldn't take one more day without just coming to see you and talking to someone about this.
Okay, so you're unhappy. What's making you unhappy?
Well, I work as a school counselor at the middle school, and it's not what I'm passionate about. It's not me, and every day it's so long, and that just makes me unhappy. And then when I get home, and I'm unhappy because I'm pretty much like a single mom right now. My husband's a pilot, and so he's gone flying all the time, and it's hard. I have two daughters. They're pretty young, and I have to do everything. I'm like the single mom at home, and it's draining. It's draining at work. It's draining at home, and I'm not doing anything fun. And recently, I've been going out with friends after work, and trying to do something fun, but there's just something missing.
So what's your idea of fun? Because you talked about you don't have enough fun in your life and you feel overwhelmed by a lot of different things that are going on, but
I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to take a family vacation. It'd be nice to see my husband. Never see him. But I miss those high school days. And where you just hang out with friends and party and live it up. There's nothing fun going on in my life anymore.
so I kind of hear that it's like you have a lot of responsibility and you're kind of going against that. You don't want that responsibility.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm pretty responsible. I don't know. I have made a couple, parenting errors recently. Had a little bit too much to drink, and got kind of aggressive with my daughter. But
What happened?
well, it was just one of those long days at work, and I needed a couple beers after that long day. Middle school kids are crazy. And so I went home and tucked my girls in and just, started drinking away. And, I got like a 12-pack of beer and just started drinking. And then I, was halfway through and my daughter came into my room. She couldn't sleep. And I couldn't deal with it. Like, I was just like, I want to be alone, All I do is, mom counselor. I don't have any time for myself. And it was one of those nights where obviously my husband was flying, and I couldn't take it. She was crying, and she was, yelling and making a big scene, and my head hurt, and, we ended up fighting, and I slapped her, and then, I woke up on the bathroom floor the next morning, and, I don't know.
So you hit your child. What do you feel about that?
I mean, obviously, I feel bad. I feel like a terrible, terrible mother, and, I know what I did was not right.
How much influence do you feel like your life has, like with the alcohol?
I don't know. I mean, lately it's kind of my only escape. It's the only time that I feel happy.
So in your mind, alcohol equals escape equals a relaxation period. It's a tool for you to make your life better.
Yeah, it kind of makes me feel young again.
But I'm going to contradict you because, you feel like it makes your life better, but yet under the influence of alcohol, you hit your child.
Right. Yeah. I suppose I see what you mean,
How often do you drink?
I mean, mean, I would say, 5 or 6 days out of the week for sure. I, occasionally meet some faculty members for lunch, and there's always a happy hour special, so we like to take advantage of it every once in a while. And, I tend to have a higher tolerance than most people, and so I usually have, 3 beers, whereas they all have like 1, and then we go back to school.
So, what would you say some of your thoughts before you decide to drink? Because, I'm assuming as an adult you know that, drinking in the middle of the day, especially having 3 or 4 drinks before you go back to work, maybe isn't the best choice. So, what are some of those thoughts that you have before you decide to do that?
I guess I just, I'm overwhelmed with all, the stuff I have to do, the responsibilities of my life, and I'm not getting help from my husband, and, I'm not happy in the career that I picked, and I guess just feelings of overwhelming feelings, and just,
So
unhappiness.
you feel overwhelmed and unhappy, and you feel like what is it that you feel like as a person you deserve?
I feel like I deserve to be loved, I know my daughters love me, but, sometimes I feel like my husband doesn't, and, he's gone so much, and when he does come home, we barely say 2 words to each other. We go to bed and wake up, and he's off to, a new destination, and
So you feel lonely and a little bit, depressed. So you drink, and then what happens after you drink?
well, I usually try to drink until I go to sleep.
So does that solve your problem though? At the end of the day, are you still?
I guess not, but, it provides an escape for me.
But have you really escaped if you are still feeling depressed and lonely, and maybe in that moment, maybe for that, hour that you passed out or that you are drunk or forgetting those things, but is it a real escape?
I guess not. I wake up and, it's just a cycle. It's just, I feel horrible all over again, and then I feel guilty for drinking and for, hitting my daughter, and for being, pretty much drunk at my work, and,
It sounds like you're participating in a lot of behaviors that you feel guilty about. Drinking at work, hitting your daughter, those kinds of things. What kind of things are you saying to yourself that make you want to make those, that choose to do those behaviors?
I guess I feel, unworthy, a little bit,
Unworthy of what?
I guess just, of happiness and love, and I don't know.
You feel unworthy of happiness and love. Why do you what's about happiness and love? I feel like those are basic things that anybody deserves. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
So what makes it but you don't feel like you deserve those?
Yeah, I guess I just, I feel like I just complain all the time, and that's why my husband doesn't want to be around me, is because I just complain, and, he doesn't want to come home to me anymore, and, I feel like he deserves someone better that doesn't complain all the time and annoy him, and, I might as well just get drunk and pass out, and so when he comes home, we don't have that awkward silence.
So you feel like because you complain about your life that your husband doesn't want to be around you, and if you drink instead of complain, then that thing will make things better. That has it? You come home and
well, I'm either really drunk and going crazy and he's yelling at me, or I'm totally sober and really boring and he just doesn't talk to me. And so it's, I guess I'm trying to get his attention in a way.
So the behavior that you're doing right now, which is trying to either get drunk so you can be exciting, that's not working. He doesn't seem to react to that. Or, being sober but not talking to him, maybe you feel like you say boring. I don't know necessarily know if that's true or not, but, that's not working. That's not effective. So what other behaviors could you participate in that might be attracted to him?
I mean, I really want to go back to school because I'm not happy in my job. I have a high school degree, and I barely graduated high school because I was drinking a lot, and I want to get my college degree. I want to pursue teaching possibly. I'm really interested in being
So what's stopping you from doing that?
I guess I just don't feel smart enough, It was hard to pass high school, and, I just was constantly told that I was stupid, and, well, my dad was an alcoholic, and so he would always, tell me how stupid I am and how I'm never going to graduate, and I just had to escape that house and just go off with my friends.
What if you believed that you weren't stupid? Because what if first of all, you have a hard job and you do it well, it sounds like, and sometimes you do it well even impaired, which kind of takes a mind. You obviously can adapt pretty well. So there's a lot of evidence that I'm hearing that you aren't stupid, that you're actually really smart. So what if you believe that? What if you believe that you were smart? What would that be like? What would you do?
Well, I would definitely, enroll in either online college or, start taking classes at the local, community college down the road. I think I could do pretty well, at least get, an associate's degree, 2-year degree, and maybe start applying for some other jobs that interest me in the area. And, it's not that I don't think, I think I'm a pretty decent counselor, and I like the kids in the middle school, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind teaching, English or social studies,
So it sounds like if you're smart, if you told yourself that you were smart and if you believed it, then you might take some risks that you're not taking right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely taking risks, but not the right ones.
So what makes you be so easily taking the wrong risks, like, drinking at work and, participating in those negative alcoholic behaviors, but not taking the risks to, try to make yourself happy?
I guess I don't care anymore. It's, there's nothing to look forward to throughout the day, throughout the week, I feel like I'm all by myself, and, I love my daughters, but, I don't think I'm a good mother to them, and
What makes you think that you're not a good mother to them?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I compare myself to the other moms, their school. They're always picking their daughters up, and they're always bringing their daughters shopping and paying for all these fancy clothes. And, I'm just a school counselor. I don't have all the money for that. And,
So you feel like buying your kids things and maybe showing up to school every once in a while makes people good moms? Like that's what makes people good moms?
Well, those kids sure love their parents when they do that, and,
When do your kids show that you love them, love you? Like when do you feel most loved by your kids?
I guess, when we're just hanging out at the house, we sometimes have these, game nights, and, we used to go on some family vacations, and, my husband used to be home a lot more, and I think they were happy when we were all together, and it's been a little tough now that he's gone a lot. I think that he provides them with, something different. I have a lot to offer them, but, I think us together as a married couple can do a lot more for them in their future. And
So you feel like that they love you most when you're at home together playing,
yeah,
but you also feel like, it could help that if your husband was home more.
yeah.
And what does your husband do? You told me he's
The pilot.
a pilot. That's right. So, as a pilot, he has to be gone a lot.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not something that he necessarily chooses.
And I know he's
Either way.
making the money for us, and my school counseling job doesn't get us very far, and he definitely reminds me of it, and I know that I'm not providing as much, and
So there you go again with kind of the self-deprecating thought of, I'm not good enough, I don't make enough money, and I see that pattern in a lot of the things that you're thinking, and that obviously is leading to some of the choices that you're making to maybe not try as much, not care as much. Because if you kept saying that to yourself out loud, like I'm not good enough and I don't really care, then you're gonna start feeling depressed, and that's gonna lead to some of those behaviors that you've been telling me about.
mm-hmm.
So, how much of this have you told your husband about?
Well, like I said, we don't really talk too much. He's always gone. When he's home, lately, he's been pretty upset with me because I've been pretty drunk or passed out when he's home.
So kind of your alcohol, alcohol is kind of getting away of your relationship a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds like you obviously are here for a reason. You want to change. You want to be happy. You're depressed, but you have a lot of very negative thought patterns in your head that you use on a daily life, and I'd like to challenge some of those. I also am a little bit concerned about your drinking. It sounds like it's affecting your life a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to I don't know if you really understand how much your drinking is affecting your life. So I want to give you 2 homework assignments. The first homework assignment I'd like you to be able to do, and you can kind of adjust it and see how we do, but every time that you feel like you want to drink, I want you to maybe list a couple failings. First of all, list okay, at this time I felt like I wanted to drink, and list some of those feelings that you were feeling. Just there are no wrong answers to this. So, and then next session we can look, okay, first of all, how often is it that you're wanting to reach for that drinks? And at what point, what are you feeling? What are the motivations behind that? So we can kind of see that. The second thing I want you to start thinking is, I want you to think about this might be hard at first, but anytime you start telling yourself, I'm not good enough, or I'm stupid, or I could never do that, kind of those negative thoughts, I want you to flip them around. And, we can come up with a couple of things, I'm smart, I am capable. Maybe just kind of those 2 things to kind of play in your head as well, and kind of see what possibilities those kind of come up with. Do you think you could do those 2 things?
Yeah, I think I need to start getting better and feeling better, and I think it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and then next session we can kind of look at it and see how it's affected, and I feel like maybe then you can kind of see how much the alcohol is really affecting you, and maybe we can kind of move on from there. But I thank you for coming in, and you're doing great, and everybody needs some help at some point or another. So
Thank you.